Yo, break it down to me, because you going gold while incarcerated is crazy, but you're also in a position that could be a vulnerable one where you're in jail. So you could be taken advantage of. There's a lot of money happening. I mean, even if you sell 100,000 records in the 90s, like that's like real money, right?
Oh, yeah.
So how are you keeping track of the money that's coming in from all this music? And how are you making sure that like your finances are aligned? You're not getting fucked. Like,
yeah, man, I did it like a gangster for many years. You know, my homeboys, Big Pook. You know, I had people in place from Garden Block who were making sure shit was going the way I wanted. And then my relationship with Cedric was different from a lot of other people. So Cedric protected me from a lot of things. And then, you know, I would get 50,000 transferred over here, and now, like what I like to say is they have a cup of water, but I control the spout. And so somebody could fuck off what I put there, but all they did was teach me I can't put nothing there. But even that was an expensive learning experience. So you got my aunts, my family started tripping, like, hey man, such and such has set money on fire. Like one of my aunts had a real strong conversation with me about that same year that Vengeance Is Mine comes out and does 100,000 copies, and we're getting $7 a pop for these motherfuckers, right? So we talking about a week, we made 700,000 in a week before taxes and whatever.
Right.
And so my aunt was like, listen to me. And so, you know, I had a very strong visit with my sister, my family, and I hired a lawyer. So like, one of my guys came home from Afghanistan, and, you know, he was writing to me, and I always wrote the military back. Still, if I see him, I acknowledge them. Right. You know, they riding in a Hummer, strapped the fuck up, bumping, you better bring your knife to the yard. They mean it. Right. You know what I mean? Out here, you used to do or die, and they I made do or die music. Right. So there's a lot of them who fucked with me. And so one of the guys that I was writing back and forth with came home and was like, man, I don't know what the fuck I'm gonna do with my life. I was like, I got you. And he started just doing any and everything, getting it done. And he went and found the lawyer. He went and found the accountant. And then I used the lawyer and accountant to build my LLC while I was still there. So in 2005, Blockstar Entertainment Incorporated, that was my first iteration. And I got all my articles done, and then my lawyer went and got the accountant, really. So my guy, Mike, found the lawyer, and the Wine Tribe Law Corporation. Yeah. I got Scott Hervey from the Wine Tribe Law Corporation. And then I ended up getting the accountant, and then those two people, that was it. Those two firms, the law firm and my accountant firm, I was good. And now if I want to send something somewhere, I will. If I don't, I won't. And then attorney-client trust account. So I start dumping all my money in there, because if the courts or anybody wanted to see it, they had to subpoena the records. You couldn't just say hit the bank or just decide you want to know what my finances are. I had it set up in an attorney-client trust account where they would even have to notify us that was something they wanted to do, or my lawyer would have the ability to say that this was something that he didn't have to reveal and fight over it, at least give us a chance to figure out what we wanted to do. So I got set up. By 2005, I was set up to have a life, you know what I mean? And then that's still like 15 years later from when you go in, right? Yeah, about 15, that was my 15th year. Yeah.
So that's like, there's still a lot of money. So what do you get out of prison, and you because you were able to take those, you're fine. Like you have at least some sort of financial security.
Yeah, absolutely. And I came home with, you know, my ex-wife was somebody who, you know, and we had trained that way. When we first met, she was in a small apartment. You know what I mean? Just trying to survive.
Was this someone you met before you went to jail?
Nah, we met while I was doing my time. And so...
How does that work, by the way?
Man, you want to be loved, man. You're trying to find love. Nah, sometimes it's the homies hooking you up, or somebody you have a peripheral thing with. But for me, you know, I ran through every distraction that you can have in life in that environment. I was like... Solomon and Ecclesiastes. I did all the bullshit. So I got high, I got drunk, the homie sending me bitches. Me, Lynch, and Six did a competition on who could get the most bitches to tattoo your name on them. I won from the pen, you know,
Crazy.
I won. We thought it was funny, you know what I mean? Like on some gangster shit. So in there you develop a view of relationships based highly on getting things done.
Right.
You need a runner more than you need a bitch to be in love with. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. You need someone who you can trust to go, hey, I need you to go holler at the lawyer. I need you to go.
Yeah, and I'ma love that. I don't give a fuck what you do with your
Right.
vagina. You get in there, bitch, trying to convince you I love you and all that and blah, blah, blah. Man, you know how many bitches got pregnant while I was doing my time?
Right.
From 1992 to 2002, I had no less than 6 or 7 bitches that was handling business for me. Pregnant.
That ended up getting pregnant with
Ended
other-
at tattoos and everything.
Yeah.
This bitch pregnant in the motherfucker.
Yeah.
You know, bitch, you got my name all across your ass. The nigga done skeeted on you. Done let a nigga skeet on my name, you punk ass bitch. No diddy.
Did they all tell you, I'm going to wait for you?
Yeah, they all selling you the same bullshit you selling them. It is what it is, right? And you providing for them, and they making runs, and it's a job. They
Right.
making some money.
Right.
You making some money.
It's mutually beneficial.
Mutually beneficial. So by the time I got to the point where I'm gonna be in this relationship, you know, you come into that aware of all this trash, and it's trauma too. It's trauma. You might have liked a few of these bitches, so it's some trauma. So now you got a female that you looking at like, man, maybe I could, maybe we might be able to do this real thing I want to do.
Right.
Because now I got the accountant and the lawyer. I got a little bit of a bag. I can send her 10 bands here. I can send her 5 bands there. It's different. You know what I mean? So it's like, you gonna stand on business? You know what I mean? So you got somebody, and she was the type of person who would. Graduated college, was, you know, I had a corporate psychology, and I'm instilling this gangster shit in that. And so by the time I got home, she had whooped them some ass, and the lawyers, and we had whooped some ass. And, you know, on a $700,000 house here, you know, coming from a home that I think, and we have one in Sparks. And when they built that Tesla battery factory, sold that and got a bag and used that bag to get the
house.
You know, the bigger spot. So I don't even know I'm getting out, and I got a home in the gated community in Las Vegas, and I'm still in the pen.
Crazy.
And the title for that is in my file, because I had to, you know, I had to notarize it. So the notary come in, you got to stamp that, the record, and that went in my file. So they knew that too. You know, this motherfucker out this house, he got this, he got that. They was aware of it, and the business that I built. So yeah, I started wanting to have a real life for myself, and now your brain development. I hit 25, I knew like, damn man, it's a lot of bullshit going on. I'm full of shit. Mm-hmm. Everybody's full of shit. But the music was honest. I was being honest in them lyrics, and so I just went into start adulthood. Man, I decided like I want to be grown. My body was already, I told one of my little homies this, nigga, you know you could just wake up in the morning and be like, I'm grown, and you would be right. And he was like, what you mean? I'm like, I said, nigga, your New Year's resolution is going to be a man, be an adult. Your body already did it. It's just now a decision got to be made. And I had already done that. 02 was when I started my 10th year. I'm rocking and rolling that whole time. Any and everywhere I go, riots, melees, all this bullshit, dope, smuggling shit in, making music, rocking and rolling. I get to 2002, 2003, 2004, 2005. I got the lawyer, I got the accountant, I got a woman that's going hard on some adult shit, and I'm thinking like, all right, if I got to do the rest of my life, I'm going to do it like this. And then over the course of that, from 05 to 2012, I start going to the psychologist. Dooney tell me to do these programs.
Right, that becomes like, oh, there's a light at the end of the tunnel potentially.
There's a way of life. Right. I just wanted to, if I was going to be in there for the rest of my life, I wanted to do it like a G.
Right.
I wanted to be a grown-ass man. I wanted to be in control of whatever part of my destiny I could control. And so I focused on that. And then Miller versus Alabama started popping up. That shit was on the cover of the USA Today. I was like, ooh wee, like nigga. And the big homies said, people started, hey man, the OGs are talking. This is real. Right. This is on the Assembly floor. And then boom, by 2012, the legislation for Senate Bill 260. Remember my little homie Bird, my young brother Bird, actually brought that paper to me. Because they knew I hated that. Don't bring me this shit talking about I'm going home. Same way I didn't want to do the Lyle and Eric.
Right.
It's talking about this shit. I'm fine making my fucking burritos, watching Sunday Night Football, bro.
Right.
Bring me this fucking bullshit. Have me down the street emotionally and my spirit. So I'm like, whatever. And this nigga was like, X, listen to me. X, listen to me. He's standing at the door. And he's like, you're going home. You're going home. And he
Right.
slid the papers through the door. He was crying. And we took off, so I didn't have to see him cry. And I read that shit. I was like, what the fuck? I went and jumped on the phone, called home. It's like, whatever. You know, we hear this all the time. And my lady called my lawyer. I had Charles Carbone. And she called the lawyer, and he was like, yeah, this is real, and we'll have him out of there. It's going to take me about 3 years, but he's coming home. And I was like, ooh.
So now you got something to look forward to.
Yeah, so now we're hopelessness to maybe to hope to thinking. I was thinking now, man, I think I might get the fuck out of here.